This is the Acebeam W30, and it is literally a laser flashlight capable of 1,450,000 candela. That's a beam distance equivalent to just under 1.5 miles. Farther than even the BLF GT, and all of this in a truly compact handheld portable light. I'd like to thank Night Torch, which is an Acebeam authorized dealer, for sending me this flashlight for review. And what a flashlight! I think this is on its way to becoming the new industry standard for throwers. And I'll explain real quick just exactly how this works. This light uses what's called LEP technology, not LED. That stands for laser excited phosphor. When we look down the barrel of the W30, what you're seeing there, that dot, is not the laser, that is a mirror. Inside the flashlight housing, there is a blue laser that sits off to one side. This ring, this is a picture of the bottom of that mirror setup I said, and the laser fires into one mirror and then into that mirror that you see, and it's reflected downward onto a piece of phosphor. It then becomes white light and then out through the bezel after passing through a double convex lens. I haven't taken my light apart, so no cutting me off, Acebeam. But Vin took his apart and said I could use these pictures. A part of what's so epic about this is just not only the way they use the technology, but the result is this is the BLF GT, rated at a million candela, a 2,000 yard beam distance, basically. And this is the W30. So basically, this little guy is capable of more beam distance than this great big giant one. Our battery source for the Acebeam W30 laser flashlight is only one 21700. It is the USB plug and play at the top type battery, so it's way too big to fit most chargers. It's a single mode on-off, which I think is perfect for this type of light. I did my own testing with this light, and Acebeam has rated it at 500 lumens, and I tested it at 438 out the front lumens at 30 seconds runtime, so just a little under what they got. I also checked the current at the tail cap, and we were getting about 2.4 amps. I also tested the candela, and I got 1.8 million. I didn't just test that once. I thought I must have done something wrong, and so I tested it again and again and again, outside, away from walls. I did it again and again, and consistently 1.8 million. I'm still second guessing myself because I just can't hardly believe it. But Vin said that he got one that was 1.7 million too, so I'm feeling a little better. I'm just so in disbelief about it, but it is amazing. Also, just for further reference, so you know, I tested this exact BLF GT, because I've had a bunch of them, and they vary some. This exact BLF GT on the same day with the same setup, everything, tested 1,030,000, and this is the GT that we're going to be comparing to for the beam shots. We're also going to be taking this. This is my WowTac A4, and I chose it because it is the closest to the same size and dimensions as the W30 is that I have in my collection. Basically the same size head, about the same size body length, and it's just using traditional throw technology. That is a de-domed, or a domeless rather, LED, the XHP 35 high intensity, and a reflector. both the BLF GT and the WowTac A4 are rated at much higher output. They're rated at 2,000 lumens versus the 500 for the Acebeam, but it's still pretty apparent when it comes to throw that this thing is a performer. One last thing, we did get a red filter. Ideally, I think that it would have been nice if we could have got this with focusability. But in the meantime, I think it would have been cool to have a diffuser made of this kind of stuff. This is a diffuser like what you would, for a ceiling light, we use this in the lumen tubes. And it's amazing stuff. Just, a little round one of these with this on it, I think would have been cool. Here is our WowTac A4. That's our XHP 35 high, 2000 lumen. Now our Acebeam W30. Boy, the concentration on that is just insane. It's kind of hard to see with it except in the one spot because there's just no spill. But I mean, there is nothing we can't hit out there. We can touch the water. We can touch this. Even where the lights are on. Where the lights are on, we can still shine. I can see it on that building. Oh, those are close trees that got in our way. Let's see how it compares with the BLF GT now. The GT is a massive beast, but it sure is easier to see with it. I mean, it's not as intense, but let's see what we can do out here. We can get this pretty good. We're getting the power plant there just fine. It shows real good on that building. Do a little side by side now. So what is it like to be on the receiving end of this? If you are in the house and you shine it directly on the wall, it hurts to look at the hot spot even on the wall. It is insane. If you are at a great distance, like this distance of 700 feet for example, it's really not that bad. By then the hot spot is considerably large, and it's never pleasant to look directly into something, but it is not harmful at this distance. Here we go. Look, here's the shore. Look how it bounces off the water. Look at that. Look how bright it is on the trees. When I do it out in the lake, it does that too, but the camera kind of loses it. It bounces just like that. You can see the beam come up, but there's nothing for it to reflect off of. That is just madness. That's the parking lot, and I'm catching the edge of the water right there. Those vehicles parked way up there, my truck. One last thing to talk about is filters with this. The beam is so intense, even when I walk downfield with this thing on, the beam looks like something you could grab hold of. It is really intense. When you put the red filter on, it's still intense. If you shine it near your feet, up close to you, it is still going to wreck your night vision. However, it does hide the beam, like the laser-like part of it. Just for fun, I also brought that diffuser material we talked about earlier so we could see what effect this would have if we had a ring diffuser like that. If you would like to get an Acebeam W30 laser flashlight of your own, there is links in the description for purchase. As always, guys, super thanks for watching, and good lucks.